On today's JMO, Josh and Joe, we go over some NFL news.
Because football's back.
Because football is so back.
It's so back.
You can feel it in the air. You can fucking feel it. Training camp, scares, training camp, cuts, training camp, everything.
Talk,
comments, the entire shebang. We have NFL football coming up tomorrow, actually.
Yep.
Today, Wednesday, August 2nd. We'll have it tomorrow, August 3rd. The Browns play the Jets. I'm pretty pumped to watch a bunch of people I don't know their names.
Exactly.
It's going to be awesome. But we go through all the NFL talk, the wild catches, the injuries and everything. Then we move on to OTDISH, on this date in sports history. We got a couple of good ones. Then we do a little bit of Major League Baseball talk. We find out that I don't know anything about the Major League Baseball. I thought I knew, but I don't know anything.
I didn't know anything going into it, and now I don't even know even more, which I don't know how.
Less.
I don't even know how that's possible.
You knew nothing, and now you know less than nothing.
Yes.
So, okay, see, that's probably better than me. I thought I knew something, and now I just don't know. I don't know how the MLB works. You figure out, we show you very clearly that we know nothing about the MLB. Then we finish off with some college football, which we do know a decent bit about.
But we don't know about the conferences.
We don't know about the conferences. But we do know about college football, and we are still really, really irrational.
Yep.
So.
All right, let's rock and roll.
Welcome to GMO, Josh and Joe. It is Wednesday, August 2nd, and Joe, can you feel it in the air right now?
My bones.
Can you feel it? Football is here, baby. We have 2 NFL teams playing tomorrow, Thursday, August 3rd. Can you believe it?
Can't be more hyped.
No, I can't.
Can't be more hyped
This
right
is,
now.
And one thing, one way you know that it's coming is the text threads, the group me's, the Snapchats, the Snap groups. Everything starts blowing up from your fantasy leagues.
Mm-hmm.
I know ours has. I know I'm in a couple of leagues this year, and Lord, it is blowing up right now. We're trying to get the mock drafts down, get the draft orders down so we can get the mock drafts going. I know the treasurers, myself included, are trying to get the money together because that's important.
Yeah.
That's very, very important. And yeah, you can feel it. Football is in the air tonight, baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
And going back to the fantasy football leagues, everybody's just spilling out all the offseason that they've been holding up inside them. Basically right now.
Everything that's been building up inside them is just being unleashed.
Well, it's almost like we've forgotten that we have that. Support group, basically. It is a support group, from reality, from your wife, from your family and your kids.
Yeah.
It's a support group to unleash that inner man of what football means to us.
It really is. That's a great point. And it's almost our therapy. It really is. It is kind of my therapy. A lot of people, and this is fine. If you need therapy, then go for it. But a lot of people, they go to a therapist and they just spill everything, and the therapist tries to put them back together. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We go to our chat threads, and we spill all of our frustrations of not having football, and then we get all of our friends or fantasy buddies, whatever it is, and they just kind of break us down even more.
Yeah, I was about to say, especially there's always targeted one person in the group that, you just bash down.
Well, that's kind of the whole point of it. You break people down and then you build them back up again. It's just, you can't have somebody get down too bad or else they'll quit or they won't set their lineup, and then you got to kick them out and then you got to find a new person. It's that delicate balance.
It's a balance. Life is a balance.
It is. And then it's nice because you get to basically, it's almost like a big trust tree because everybody, you kind of have something. It's not like you have dirt on everybody, but you have something over everybody because everybody has money in this, okay? Mm-hmm. So, it's not like somebody can I don't know, rat on somebody. Like if somebody says something over the line, you can't just go to the fucking police and be like, hey, this guy just went out of line.
Yep.
It's a trust tree. You can say things and almost not have to worry about it. Now, if you're playing with randos, don't take this advice. But all the leagues I'm in, I know everybody in the league.
Is there any league that you don't? Is there particular leagues where you don't know a lot of people?
But those leagues suck. Those, if you don't know who you're playing against, you can't talk shit. You can't have like a group chat. And then,
I mean, you can talk shit.
You can talk shit, but it's not the same.
It isn't the same. I mean, well, the thing is it's not very targeted very well because you don't know those people. Whenever you actually know those people through and through, that's when you really can get into their soul.
Yes. Oh, exactly. And you can how some of their buttons they can push, and like just like it's just so much better when you know the people in the fantasy league. Yeah. And it's almost even better if you because I know I'm in a fantasy league where it's a work league. Yep. And, I see them all the time, and I can talk shit to their face.
Yep.
That's almost, the best.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know you and I, we're in a league with a bunch of our friends from college. Dude, this league's been going on for, 12 years now?
Yep.
12, 13 years. No big deal.
Also, we publish it on our podcast.
Yeah, we do a little recap every week. But yeah, dude, fantasy football is coming. We're getting our draft orders. I know one of my leagues, I'm first pick. That might be the worst pick. I was thinking about it, especially the way it is now. I don't know who to pick first. It's a PPR league. There's 10 teams. I don't know who to pick first. I don't know if I should pick Christian McCaffrey. I don't know if I should pick Justin Jefferson. I don't know if I should pick Saquon Barkley.
Honestly, this year, it might even be better just to go wide receiver. Might be the safer bet.
It might. And here's the thing. I won't pick for another fucking 20 picks.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks. I don't like being the first pick.
You're telling me.
Yeah. You've had some bad luck with the first pick.
Yeah, I mean, the last, I want to say 2 years, maybe 3, in our league that we publish on JMO, that I've been the first pick.
Yeah, and it's not going well.
No, it has
Jonathan
not.
Taylor, Christian McCaffrey,
no,
all got hurt.
Yeah.
It's been the worst.
I mean, they were the surefire picks. I would have looked like a dumbass, who's never played fantasy football if I didn't pick those picks.
Correct, yeah. Everybody and their grandmother those years picked Christian McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor. So it's tough. In a 12-team, half-point PPR league, let's say, I'd rather go 10th. 9th, 10th, 11th. Those would be the picks, 9th, 10th, 11th, even 12th. First pick, the first 3 picks are just awful. You're not going to get another pick. All the value is in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, you basically drop to your knees and start praying that somebody just fucks up and picks some wild card in the first 2 rounds.
Exactly. Yeah, one good thing I'm looking forward to. People are going to pick Bijan Robinson really high,
big time
high. And I mean, if you see some of the film on him, he looks good, but it's against people that he should be looking good against.
Mm-hmm.
He's not good. This could be an all-time bad take by me, but I'm pretty confident that Bijan Robinson will not put up first, second, or even third round worthy numbers this year.
Wow.
No.
Oh, wow.
No. He's I think Breece Hall will definitely, even if Dalvin Cook goes to the Jets, I think Breece Hall will still have a great year. I just don't like him. Has nothing to do with him being on the Falcons.
Okay. Nothing to do with that?
Absolutely nothing.
All right.
Nothing at all.
Actually, I do have a take on that, but I have a spot for it a little bit later with some other NFL news.
Okay, well, let's get to some other NFL news. Fantasy's heating up. Football's back. Training camp is maybe the coach's worst nightmare. It's a nightmare scenario.
It's the scaries, for sure. They have the scaries during that time because there's nothing really there's nothing that kind of goes good out of it.
Actually, that's true. It is like the Sunday scaries.
Yeah.
It's the Sunday scaries before your work week begins. It's the Sunday scary. It's the training camp scaries before your season begins.
Yeah, because you basically, I mean, we have some scary injuries that took place to star players, and then you have actually some scary catches as well.
Some of these catches have been just out of this world.
Yeah.
Let's get to the scares real quick. The injury scares. Joe Burrow. Okay. He had a calf strain.
Mm-hmm.
But the report was Joe Burrow grabs his leg and gets carted off the field. I am going to say this. Fuck the people who say getting carted off, because getting carted off means nothing nowadays.
Yeah.
They'll cart you off for a cramp.
Mm-hmm.
So like whenever I saw that, I was like, dude, this sucks. He's going to be out for the season. He's grabbing his leg. He's getting carted off the field. Both of those things. And the cherry on top is it was a non-contact injury.
Yep.
That's the cherry on top. All three of those things mean done for the year.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it. Okay, I'm sorry. That's what it used to mean. All three of those things put together meant you were done for the year. Now, woo, you get a scrape on your knee and they'll cart you off the field on a non-contact injury. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. So whenever I see carted off, I don't blink an eye.
And we're also talking about the Cincinnati Bengals facility. Maybe, I don't know. Like, maybe their health center is a little bit away from from the practice field. He just might as well cart him off and get him checked out as well. We don't know the logistics of it.
That's true. Maybe it was just a nice long drive.
Yeah.
He didn't need to be walking all that way.
Exactly.
Like hobbling or
They don't know what the injury is. Obviously, don't want to strain it some more. Like, put him on a cart, take him over there. You know what it reminded me of, though, reading those articles, was because that was the thing. I watched the video. I was like, maybe it could be bad. Maybe it might not be too bad, or based or comparatively to what the article was saying.
Right.
But it reminded me of that one movie. I'm trying to think of what it is, but it was like the doctor would give news, but he would like omit information out, he would have this precisely paused in his conversation, and it would make it seem way more dramatic. Actually, I believe it's Arrested Development. The TV show Arrested Development.
Oh.
They were getting news, and he would pause his everything he said at the wrong time. That made it look way worse than what it actually was.
Right.
So I don't know if you remember that scene.
I do not, but
I
know.
it was when Buster was in the hospital.
Oh God, I need to rewatch that show. That was a classic.
Yeah,
that was a great underrated show. Yeah. So scares, Joe Burrow scare. Let's see.
Cooper
Kupp scare.
Cooper Kupp got the scaries.
That was his hamstring. Now Jalen Ramsey, this is one that was an actual injury because he's gonna have to undergo surgery. He's gonna miss the start of the season. Is it worth it to play I know last year we had a bunch of fucking injuries in training camp as well. Just growing up, I don't remember all of these injuries in training camp, or maybe we just were not as informed back then, but I just don't remember. And so all these injuries, it just seemed like as soon as training camp starts, my feed was just blowing up with injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. It was the Jalen Ramsey ACL. Yeah, Try Turner. The Saints just signed the offensive lineman from LSU. Try Turner's out for the season. Let's see. Who else? We had I thought that was there's.
I think there's been definitely some.
There's
other
been more
ones.
scares, but I don't get it. I think everybody's just soft these days. I think all the non-contact practices, the mandatory non-contact practices, all the rule changes and stuff. You can't hit anymore like you used to, and people's bodies are becoming weak.
I think it's also a little bit of a different style of football too that's being played. You kind of have to think it's a little faster. Instead of the ground and pound, because ground and pound, yeah, it's physical and tough, but it's not very fast, or it's not as fast. Let's put it that way. A lot of your linemen are it's basically brute strength against brute strength. Whereas now it's like you got DBs that are flying all over the field, and I would have to say I think it's a mixture also of the training too. Like you're not kind of if you put that wear and tear as far as in practice, like the contact. I like to think that the muscles build back up better.
They do, and
And-
that's why I'm an advocate for more contact in practice.
Yeah.
I understand that the game's getting faster, guys are getting stronger, bigger, blah 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 blah. I get that, and that could have something to do with it. But they have also been changing the rules of the game,
Yeah.
to where you can't hit anybody anywhere except for maybe the chest area, and there's still a shit ton of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's still we've never even had a DeMar Hamlin situation, and that happened.
Yeah.
Like. What? Anyways, moving on from injuries, we have a couple of pay cuts. Joe Mixon is one that took a pay cut. Not good for the. I don't think this is good for for running backs.
Not good for the running back market.
Not,
it
not
made
good for
sense.
the not good for the running back Skype crew.
Yeah, the Skype crew for sure. Yeah, no, it made sense for Joe Mixon. But
he's getting up there. He's still a really good running back.
he's still a really good running back. But he's chasing a title. He doesn't want to have some sort of dispute going on right now.
Right.
While they're in the middle of a title run.
Also, he's at that age where he's basically not going to get a long-term deal.
Mm-mm.
He's not going to get a really big long-term deal. It's what all the running backs are complaining about right now.
Yep.
So he understands that. Might as well get a title.
Yeah.
Might as well get a title out of it. Rodgers took a $35 million pay cut. I think what he's doing right now, he's getting paid. I think he's getting paid everything up front this year. So he's not making any money throughout the year, but he's got paid all up front, and then he's making a bunch of money next year. I can't remember the details of his contract, but he ultimately he's taking a $35 million pay cut.
So he's basically getting injured this year.
You think so?
Got the money, take the money and run.
Well, I don't know.
I'm kidding.
I don't. I think he's pretty pumped. I think he's pretty pumped about winning at the Jets. I don't know. I think he was getting sick of Green Bay, which I don't blame him. Green Bay, that organization wasn't doing shit for him. So yeah, they a couple of pay cuts. What else we got in the NFL? Oh, the Eagles are wearing their Kelly Green uniform. Why don't they just wear their Kelly Green uniforms all the time? They're wearing them for 2 games this year. Those are the sickest fucking colors.
There's a lot of throwback uniforms that are coming back this year. Tampa Bay's been wearing the orange.
Yeah, I love that.
Creamsicle orange.
Oh, that's so cool.
And there's, I want to say there's like six different teams that
The
are coming.
Titans are wearing the Tennessee Titans. This one confused me. The Tennessee Titans are wearing the Oilers uniform, the old throwback Oilers uniforms,
Interesting.
which doesn't make any sense
No.
because they're not Houston.
Nope.
And they are not Oilers.
It would make sense if they were playing in Houston during that game.
No, it would make sense if. No, that would be worse.
Probably worse.
That would be worse. It
Make
would
it
make
way
sense
confusing.
if the Texans wore the Oilers' old jerseys.
It's technically not the same franchise, but
No, I understand that, but it would just make more sense.
it would make sense. It would make sense in everybody's brain,
Yes.
or especially my brain, being a simple brain as it is.
You and me both. It's just like Houston Oilers, Houston Texans. Houston Texans are gonna do the throwback, and then the Tennessee Titans are just gonna, I don't know, they're gonna dress up as Optimus Prime or something. I don't know. I know it's not that. But I don't get it. I don't. I do like a lot of the throwback jerseys though.
Broncos are coming back, doing a throwback jersey for theirs this year.
Speaking of which, that's a good segue. What do you think about Sean Payton's comments?
Yeah, we got to talk about this. I just, for me, and this is definitely a personal approach for me because I'm not a trash talker. I'm one of those that I'd rather put all my emphasis and energy into, my actions and like my play on the field or whatever I'm doing. Why give somebody bulletin board material? You're playing them in week 5.
I understand that. I just my take is he's not wrong. He's not wrong. With Nathaniel Hackett was terrible. The Broncos were terrible.
They
were
terrible.
god awful last year.
Yeah.
They I think what he's doing, I think in a way he's kind of defending Russell Wilson right now. He's not saying that the reason they were bad last year was because of Russell Wilson. I think he's saying they were bad last year because of Nathaniel Hackett.
Okay, riding with what you got.
Well, I mean, he has to. He has to. A lot of people were like, "Oh, he's bashing the organization that he's working for now." No. He's not bashing the Broncos organization. He loves the Broncos organization because they hired him. They're paying him millions of dollars. He's bashing Nathaniel Hackett. And I think that his reasoning is because he's defending Russell Wilson and basically the team.
I was about to say, he's using Nathaniel Hackett as the scapegoat. Like, hey, look, y'all are bad. It's this guy.
It's this guy, right. And I am not this guy. We're going to be awesome because I am not that guy. And look, again, it might be because I'm a little biased. I still like Sean Payton a lot. He's not wrong. It was a terrible coaching job. It was awful. They did not do very well at all. It seemed disorganized. He lost the locker room. There was just no chemistry within that team. It was almost like they quit. It almost looked like they quit. So,
yeah, but I guess that's just a case of the head coaches and owners and general managers just being brutally honest. We had quite a bit of that this off season so far, or the training camp season so far.
Right.
With Jim Irsay and his comments about Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Let's go right into that. Jim Irsay is on. He's been on one.
Yeah.
He's been doing a little more cocaine than or maybe some. He strikes me as a prescription pill guy.
Is his style that of, like, would you say maybe the Trump of the NFL?
He might be.
He just kind of says whatever the fuck he wants.
I think Jerry Jones is a little more of the Trump of the NFL.
Trump of the NFL.
But Jerry Jones is like the Ron DeSantis.
Ron DeSantis,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's more of the Ron DeSantis. He's not. He doesn't want to trade Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor doesn't have a leg to stand on in this situation. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And that's not even a pun towards his injury. I'm just saying he's a running back, and he's they both need self-awareness, and I'll tell you why Jim Irsay needs it after Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
Jonathan Taylor has no right to be making all these demands. He has no right to be causing a scene. Okay? Jim Irsay, he basically came out and said that if he died and Jonathan Taylor retired, that the NFL will still go on. Which, again, the same with Sean Payton. He's not wrong.
Just being brutally honest.
Just this is an all-time read the room situation.
Yes.
Like, you really could have just gone the rest of your life without saying that.
Yes.
And honestly, your life probably would be better right now. He pissed off a bunch of people. I don't know. It's wild. It's wild. And like I feel like the NBA is just kind of like spilling over into the NFL a little bit. With these guys like having the audacity to like come out and just be like, I don't want to play for this team, trade me. And in reality, the NFL is the most, like we said last week, it's the most next man up league probably in all of sports.
Well, if the structure of it, I mean, you're not, like, if one person comes up and says that in an NBA team, that's 1/5 of the team basically gone.
Yeah.
You say that that one person says that in the NFL, that's one of 22 people
and
in
honestly,
the starting
dude,
lineup.
If you get somebody like Damian Lillard, that's more than 20%. That's in some cases that's like 35-40% of the offense.
At least, yeah, production-wise.
Production-wise, you know what I'm saying? So like it's and then you got Jonathan Taylor running back who can be replaced like this.
Yeah.
Like at any point. Like of course you're not going to get somebody who's as good as Jonathan Taylor, but he's going to be the whoever replaces him is going to do enough, and then you just game plan. You'll just easily game plan around the new running back. Like I don't know. It's tough for the running backs, but shut up. You gotta like have some self-awareness.
Yeah, I find ways to regain that advantage in the market again, rather than, like you said, shooting your shot way too early with Jonathan Taylor. I mean, if he would have had back-to-back years like he did the year before, you know what? He might have a position. Mm-hmm. He might have something, an argument, an angle, an advantage in this situation to say something like that. But I mean, coming off an injury as well.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, that's the biggest fear of running backs is their short. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it.
I agree. Yeah, honestly, the only people who really can make demands like this are very, very select wide receivers and quarterbacks. Those are really the only people. Now, if you go, let's say, for example, we go like prime Adrian Peterson. Like I'm talking 2011, 2012 Adrian Peterson. Yeah, he might have been able to make some demands. Mm-hmm. As a running back, he might have been able to make some demands. Just because he was the MVP of the league, and he was basically the entire Vikings offense.
Yeah.
So those are like some of the rare situations where you can kind of you can make these demands.
I think the one I guess that comes to mind. What is Derrick Henry's contract?
Yeah, that's true.
Because honestly, he's been it's kind of been mum. Mum is a word on like Derrick Henry and all of this. Nobody's been saying anything. I guess because he's already got his money.
That might be it. He might have gotten a contract, but then again, he's also shown like he's been like, what's his deal go through?
It's a 4-year deal worth $50 million.
When did he get that?
He
was that this year?
No, I don't. It wasn't this year, for sure. I know it's been just been it's been like a couple of years. Maybe.
But he's shown that he can last. Like he's
so that was
durable.
That was last year.
Okay, so he's still got. Oh, okay, so he was one of the few that actually signed. He was 28 years old when he signed that. Yeah, or 27. He was 27.
He was 27, so maybe 2 years ago.
Okay, so he was 27 when he signed that deal, which is actually that's pretty good. Good for him. But again, no injury, very few injuries. Been very durable, and he's been the majority of the Titans' offense. So,
and it's not like it's a very big deal. I mean, in comparison to what people are asking for. I mean, Jonathan Taylor's asking for $16 million a year, and this is $10.5 million a year.
Yeah, that's not happening.
So I don't. Yeah, that was the only person I thought would maybe be the exception. But
well, yeah. All right, let's get to some positivity. Let's get some positives from training camp. The catches have been insane.
These have been scary catches.
Exactly. They have been some scary-ass catches, and I mean, like, scary in a good way. Like, these guys might be aliens. They might be coming to take over the world. Did George Pickens' catch? George Pickens' catch?
Mm-hmm.
Freak athlete. That's why, like, I'm so fucking pumped for George Pickens this year. I was pumped for him last year. He needed to get some chemistry with Pickett. Kenny Pickett. I think this year he's going to break out. I think it's going to be like he's going to be like maybe not a Calvin Johnson, but he's going to be a Calvin Johnson-esque where Pickett just throws it up within a 10-foot radius of Pickens, and he's going to get it.
He's going to get it.
Yep, he's going to catch it.
He kind of reminds me a little bit more body type structure as a AJ Green, and I know that's just being, since they both went to Georgia, comparing them that way, but.
They do have the same kind of body type a little bit.
Does
They're
have
the similar size, similar height.
And they can go out and get balls.
Yep. Great hands.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. That's always one of the things with AJ Green. AJ Green could, like, if he touched it, he was catching it.
Yeah.
That was essentially what that was. He was incredible. Let's see. The Deontay Johnson had a great catch. Garrett Wilson. Brownlee and Garrett Wilson, dude. The receiving corps for Aaron Rodgers is going to be fun. It's going to be a blast watching the Jets offense. I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah, he's pretty excited about it too. So, honestly, they still have Allen. They even picked up Allen Lazard, as well. Yeah, it's going to be crazy, especially those videos of Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner going head to head with each other. I will say this. I know there's a lot of hype that goes around during these training camps, especially offensive highlights. Offense definitely has advantage during this time.
For sure.
Because there's not going to be as much pressure on the quarterback. A lot of times there's not any pressure. So like that makes a cornerback's job which is already difficult even more difficult.
Right.
So you have to kind of put that into perspective sometimes.
You're not allowed the cornerbacks aren't getting as physical as they should as they could.
Yeah.
They're not. There's no point, honestly. There's no point. It's just training camp is basically 75% for the offense, 25% for the defense.
Ooh, Scary Terry had a catch too.
Yes, Terry McLaurin had
Another
one.
scary
Forgot
catch.
about that.
Yes.
Dude, I'm loving. I don't know if it was Odell that kind of started this, but like just these absolutely insane catches. I'm here for them. I'm here for them, and they're getting so good at it that you're gonna keep seeing more and more of them during the games.
Yes.
It's awesome, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's somebody that comes around like that, like kind of a revolutionary, because obviously Odell Beckham Jr. did not invent the one-handed catch.
No, he didn't.
He didn't, but he
perfected it.
He perfected it and then streamlined it.
Yeah. He did, yeah, that's true. It was almost like it's the Stephen Curry effect.
Yes,
it's the Stephen Curry effect, and I think it's here to stay because let's be honest. You can stretch, I'd say almost a good half a foot to 3/4 of a foot longer with just one arm than you can with two arms, especially in those shoulder pads.
Yep.
Like you watch people who dunk. You can dunk a lot easier with one arm than two arms. Like with two arms, you can't jump as high. You can't reach as high. With one arm, you can stretch a little bit farther.
Yep.
And I think we're gonna see more of it because guys, they're just like the Brownlee catch. The Brownlee catch, it was just like he was basically another OBJ catch. He was falling backwards to the side and then just stuck his arm out and caught it, whereas he would have never been able to catch it with two hands.
Yeah. Yeah, it's here to stay.
It's here to stay. I'm loving it. You got anything else on the NFL?
I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about what I had. I'm excited. I mean, we could talk Browns and Jets, but in reality, we're going to get ourselves psyched up because it's going to be football, and we're going to think we're going to see all the starters, but we're really not going to see anybody that we know.
No, it's going to be all the. Yeah, it's not going to be anybody.
But we're still going to be happy because football.
But football will be on the TV.
Yes,
it will be on the TV, and I'm going to be excited about it. Let's see. We got a kind of a quick show today. We're recording on Wednesday because Joe and I have been moving into a new house. If any of you've moved, you know what kind of a project it is. And Joe and I are moving by ourselves, so we're moving everything. So yeah, the little quick show. I mean, there's not really too much going on. We kind of covered most of the stuff with football. So let's get to OTDISH.
Okay.
On this date in sports history, we got in 1939, the MLB conducts the first test of bright yellow balls during the Dodgers vs. Cardinals doubleheader.
Ooh.
Thank God that did not stick.
Yeah.
This is like the equivalent of using different colored balls in golf. I'm not here for it. I do not like it. It might be because of how poorly I play with different colored balls.
Okay.
Oh, it's all in my head. I know it.
Yeah.
But if it's not a white ball, I'm not hitting it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this isn't tennis. Let's be real.
Agreed.
It's not tennis. It's baseball. You know.
Exactly.
And there's nothing better because the thing is the white is going to emphasize the threads that of the baseball a lot better than the yellow will.
That's true.
So, and that's what makes a baseball.
Yeah, and the batter sees it and reads it. Like you that's how some batters are even good enough to where they could tell what pitch is coming, but just by the way it comes off of the pitcher's hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad it didn't stick. I'm not here for it.
Yeah.
What you got?
All right. In 1921, after 3 hours of deliberation, a Chicago jury acquits 8 White Sox players accused of the Black Sox scandal. And the next day, they are banned from organized baseball for life.
So they tried to throw the game?
Tried to throw the 1919 World Series game.
Gotcha. The Black Sox scandal. I think I remember hearing about this.
So, like, that is an instance where that makes sense. I mean, because that's all the wrong reasons for, like, sports gambling. But some of these guys nowadays, like Calvin Ridley, that's gambling on other sports.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous.
And it's only because he bet on the facility, the NFL facility. That's a little bit ridiculous. But I do understand the strictness of throwing games. Like, obviously, that's a big no-go, huge red flag.
Did you see him at training camp? I can't remember the wide receiver. It was a video of the wide receiver going out for a route. And then it was Calvin Ridley right behind him going out for the same route. I can't remember the receiver.
It was just a classic in route.
Yes, it was a classic in route, but Calvin Ridley looked, I'm not kidding, twice as fast.
99 speed.
99 speed. This guy, and it was funny because it was just like it was another starter, it was. I can't remember the wide receiver's name.
Yeah, I know what you're talking.
You know
I know
what
the
I'm talking
video.
about?
What you're talking about.
It was like one was like me running out there, and then Calvin Ridley came in. And he was like our dog, just like I'm talking scooting.
Yeah, well, he's well rested.
Yeah,
he's well rested.
This is true. This is true. Let's see. Next OT dish I got in 2009. Michael Phelps ends the World Swimming Championship in Rome with his 5th gold medal. Ooh. As part of the U.S. 4x100 medley relay team that recorded the 43rd. That recorded the 43rd world record of the meet.
Wow.
I don't know if you remember this. It was a very, very controversial meet.
Yeah. Yep.
43 world records. I believe it was because of the suits they were wearing.
Oh, it definitely was.
It was because of the suits they were wearing. I can't remember. Do you remember the details on the suits?
Well, I remember it was like NASA came up with these. These things were like scientifically crafted.
Yeah.
That were just absurd. Like, what was it? I think it was a 10-pound weight could be placed on the suit and it would still stay afloat.
Right. It was basically keeping these people above water way more than any suit should.
It's literally doing half their job.
Right. Exactly. So, yeah, there was 43 world records broken. Very controversial meet. And soon after that, the swimsuits were banned.
They were banned. Yeah, it made sense.
Yeah, it really did. But yeah, Michael Phelps. Oh, speaking of which, Leon Marchand, French guy, finally broke Michael Phelps' world record in the 4x100 individual medley.
Okay.
The 400 IM was finally beat. It's a record that has stood since 2002, I believe.
It had to be an old record.
It was an old record. Although, here's the thing. I think Michael Phelps probably would have beat that world record if he had any competition in the 400 IM. If you remember, all the Olympics he ever swam, he was 3 body lengths ahead of everybody in the 400 IM.
Yeah.
There was no competition for him at any of the Olympics that he was in. If he had competition, I guarantee you, he probably would have broke his own world record, but he didn't need to. 2002. That's how long that world record stood for.
Yeah, he was probably even resting towards the end of the race for his other races.
Yeah, for sure. Well, one Olympics.
I mean, I don't know that for sure, but
I'm sure he did. But yeah, if he had more competition, I bet he would. Because literally 3 to 4 body lengths every time. It was unreal. What else you got?
All right, this one's for the homie in me, the fandom. 1967, New Orleans Saints play their first ever preseason game.
First ever, 1967?
1967, first ever preseason game. Lose to a familiar foe that we hate. So, and I see where it's got started. The LA Rams.
Oh, fuck the Rams.
16-7 in Anaheim Stadium.
Fuck the Rams.
Yep. So that's where the hatred started.
So it started from the very beginning.
From the get-go.
Oh, okay. So this makes sense.
Yep.
And then the refs probably started the Saints hate then too.
They probably rigged that game.
Yeah, they probably did.
Yeah,
I guarantee it. Yep.
But it really didn't. Nobody really thought of anything about it at that point because it was a preseason game. So it's like, obviously, it doesn't actually go in the record books.
Right. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad to know that we hate them for a reason much more than just the 2017 postseason.
LA Rams Saints, new rivalry.
Yeah. Well, old
rivalry.
Old rivalry that we're just discovering.
Yes.
All right, let's get to a little bit of MLB baseball talk. Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander are traded away. They're no longer on the Mets. I don't understand baseball. I don't get it. I don't like you just so you can just sell a team and then buy a new team the next year. Like, what? What's the fun in that? How can people get into baseball if you're just like you're the Baltimore Orioles? They actually made one move towards getting better. Like they're at the top of the AL East, and they made only they like I don't know. I just don't get. I guess I don't understand how the MLB works. The no cap. See, like I'm so like I guess paralyzed by the cap that I can't understand a league with no cap.
With no cap?
Yeah, like with no like you don't no cap.
No cap.
I just don't get it. I don't understand how it works. It's confusing to me. Like the the Pirates every year. The Pittsburgh Pirates every year. They get great talent and then they trade them away and they get new great talent and they trade them away. They keep getting new great talent, trading them away. Like why can't they just buy them? Why just buy a team?
Or if just keep them, keep the great talent,
Yeah, that's who. Like just keep buying players around them. Like why doesn't every MLB team just try and outbid everybody else? Like what if you can just sell a team one year and buy them the next year? I don't get it. I don't see why baseball would be fun to watch. You just people buying their team.
Are they late to the super team party? The NBA kind of really started it with the super teams because it was easy just to get, 5 teams or 5 players together that were awesome. And then the LA Rams kind of adopted that where they were buying a super team and now they're kind of paying for it a little bit, having to rebuild.
Oh, dude, they're going to get rid of a bunch of big pieces here soon.
Yeah. So,
sure.
And then maybe baseball is just late to the game.
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get baseball. But yeah, Max Scherzer is at not the Astros. That's Justin Verlander's at the Astros, and Max Scherzer's at the Rangers. So I guess great. I don't understand baseball.
Mets quit.
They quit. That's
Okay.
it. Let's see. You got anything else on the MLB?
Nah, that's about it.
Let's do a little bit of college football. Let's talk a little college football here. Things are realigning. It just seems like everything's going towards 2 or 3 big conferences, right?
Yeah, I was going to say that. So we get this talk every year because the deadline is like mid-August on what their decision if you were going to stay in a conference or not. Typical conference policy.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we're hearing that a lot with the Pac-12, of course, which is just falling apart.
It's not looking great.
Yeah.
They tried to salvage it by the new Apple TV deal. Doesn't look like it's working.
No.
And it was so funny because they were like the Pac-12 commissioner came out and said, "Yeah, everybody's staying. Everybody that's here now is staying. They bought into the Pac-12. Blah blah blah. Next day, Colorado, boom,
out. Yep.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. And then also going over to the ACC is kind of having some trouble because it seemed like it actually was doing fine because no one else really is booking it. But if Clemson and Florida State leave, I mean, that's the 2 big dogs in the ACC.
The ACC was kind of staying under wraps. They weren't like catching a lot of heat. Like obviously, like the Big 12 people were leaving. Pac-12 is just decimated. Big 10's reing up. SEC's reing up. They've been kind of traveling under the radar. But now, for some reason, there's these rumors that Florida State and Clemson might be going to the Big 10.
Yeah.
Which that doesn't make any sense. Why just come to the SEC? Although I don't even know if I want them in the SEC.
Well, geographic doesn't matter anymore.
No, I understand that, but like, both of those seem like SEC schools.
They do,
don't they? Like they seem more like an SEC school than a Big 10 or a Big 12 school.
Well, because of the rivalries. So, like, I mean, they're already implemented into the SEC, because of Florida and Florida State.
Clemson, Alabama.
Well, no, Clemson and South Carolina.
Clemson, South Carolina, but I'm saying like Clemson, Alabama, just in the postseason the last couple of years.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could say other ones like that.
But yeah, I guess you're right. Clemson, South Carolina, Florida State. They just feel more like SEC schools. I don't know.
No, you're right. You're right.
But I'm honestly I'm pretty excited about where college football's going. Let's just hurry up and get there. Like I'm ready to be there already.
Is it turning into maybe like a national and American league?
It
Like
probably
it's just
is.
it's just gonna be like the SEC and the Big Ten, and basically what's gonna happen is they're just gonna each have their own separate playoff system and then play each other. The champion's gonna play each other every year.
Yeah, all right. The NFL.
It's like the NFL, yeah.
I see, but I want to keep it different. I want there to be like it would be cool if we had four major conferences.
Yeah.
And then did a big playoff at the end. And like I don't know. It would be tough to do it that way, but I like it to be a little bit different from the NFL.
You're right.
I always liked how college football was kind of unique in its own way.
Yeah.
So.
I honestly, from what I've been gathering, like, the feel of everything from Reddit, from, people commenting on it and such, because I feel like you can gauge the temperature of how everybody's feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Most of what I've been seeing is kind of the same as you. It's like, most people don't feel like conferences were the issue.
Yeah, I don't think so.
They weren't the issue, and it was like, when we had the Pac-12, when we had the Big 12, when we had the Big 10, we had the ACC, and everybody before the SEC had their, Oklahoma, Texas, and honestly, even before Texas A&M, Missouri, it seemed like everybody was like kind of content with that.
Right. Yeah.
But
that might have been just an us thing. I don't know.
Like I said, that's kind of what I gauged. I've been gauging any of the commenters I've been reading on, headlines and articles regarding expansion.
It could be a money thing. Alabama playing.
I think it's definitely a money thing.
Alabama playing the Citadel every year was not not very lucrative.
Well, that, and then also the TV deals that the Big Ten and the SEC are aggressively going after. Other schools want a share in that.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't blame them. I definitely don't blame them. We'll have more college football talk coming up or coming later on in the weeks to come. I'm looking forward to it. I'm getting pretty pumped about LSU. I feel really good about our chances. I think Brian Kelly is gonna make he made a statement last year. I think he's gonna build on that statement this year.
Yeah, and I think given the circumstances, it's almost like they've got a good opportunity with Alabama and Georgia sort of rebuilding. Obviously, it's more of a reload, but that's the time to catch them.
It's also it's almost like we got over the Alabama hump. Now we're eyeing Georgia.
Yeah.
We got Georgia in our sights. Little revenge game from the SEC championship. We were depleted. It was a weird, we just lost to Texas A&M, so we weren't in the right mindset. I'm not trying to make this is very bad loser talk, but I'm sound like I'm definitely making excuses. But yeah, we're coming.
That's what we do.
We're coming.
We fans, diehard fans, we make excuses.
Yes.
We're irrational.
Irrational.
Yeah.
I am a very irrational LSU fan. Anyways, you got anything else?
I think that about wraps it up.
Alrighty. We will see y'all next week. Love y'all.
Later.